The following is a Thorf TV production brought to you in cooperation with Jack Thorfinson. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Pre-Hard Target Show. Today we'll be looking at the Ruger SP101 in 357 Magnum. Let's get this show started out right. See what Jack got us. Oh, he made me some cocoa again. He really is getting into making cocoa. It's the cold weather snap we've had. Only 10 degrees when I got up this morning, and it felt more like a negative 10 because we had 30-mile-an-hour wind coming out of the north right across that prairie. Yeah. And nobody looked happy this morning either when we went outside. Jack said he said as far as he's concerned, the horses can fend for themselves. I said, oh, come on, Jack, you can't be that way. You know they're cold out there and they want their breakfast. And Jack says, yeah, well, I want to be in Las Vegas, you know. I don't get what I want. Why should they get what they want? He's getting all excited because it's getting close to when Jack's going to go down to SHOT Show. Yeah, he's going to go down to SHOT Show, represent us there, and come back with all the latest and greatest. That's what Jack's going to do. So here we go. Let's get the show started off right to the sunny slopes of long ago. That doesn't heat you up and cool you down all the same time. Jack makes such good cocoa. I think of all the years I've known Jack, and I've never been able to have any of his cocoa. I've missed out on so much. So this is what we're looking at today. I got out the old Ruger SP101 so we could shoot it this weekend down at the hard target range at those beautiful AR500 steel hard targets that Hard Target makes. Yeah. Oh, they're so nice. There's nothing better than going out and hearing that steel ring. It's even better than Jack's cocoa, and his cocoa is so good. So this is what we're going to shoot this weekend, and I've had this gun about 1.5 years, I think. It's got fixed sights, 2.5-inch barrel. Well, it's 2 1/4 inch barrel. It is double action only, and I've done a few little things to modify it to suit my needs, and basically just taken some of the, I've put a little undercut in it right here, and taken off the sharp edges, basically. Gave it a good polishing job and removed all the sharp edges. This gun was not a very good representation of what Ruger usually does. I feel it was a little, the edges on the trigger guard were really sharp. I mean really sharp edge, and I think it's not the norm for the Rugers. This one I think was just kind of neglected before it left the factory, let's put it that way. But it was good for me because my local store has a sale once a year where they take the guns that have been sitting there and haven't turned, and they put them on very, very good clearance prices. And I think that's why this gun had sat there, because it had sat there for over 2 years and it had not sold. Meanwhile, other Ruger SP101s had come and gone. Yeah. So I bought this gun on clearance for $450, and I really went in looking for one with the spurless model. They do make this in a spurless model, and that's what I went in looking for, and they would have ordered it for me, but at $450 I just had to get this because it would have been another like $125, somewhere in there, to have ordered one. And really this gun has worked out very well. The first time I shot it, it kind of dug into my knuckle a little bit there, and that's what started the process of just doing a little grinding and taking down the sharp edges and making this a little softer, a little kind of anti-snag, and I ended up removing the hammer spur, and you can see there's still a little nub on there, and the reason for that is I really didn't want to lighten the hammer any. I didn't want to take any chances of having primer striker issues. Yeah, light primer strike. So I try to leave, when I do that kind of thing, I try to leave as much of the hammer on as possible, and then remove the full cock notch so it can't cock on this gun. So it's only double action only. That's the only way to fire the gun, is do that full, long, hard trigger pull. Because unless I'm using the gun for some sort of recreational range shooting, or perhaps, and even then, I tend to buy, if I've got a revolver that I want to use for that, or if I want to use for some other purpose like that here on the ranch, I tend to get a single action. If I'm going to cock it, I tend to just buy the single action because it's so much cheaper than the double action, and that's really what the purpose of that gun anyways, is to get a clean, crisp trigger pull on a single action trigger pull. So save the money and buy a single action is what I do, like my Ruger single 10 or the Vaquero. But here, this is a different purpose for this gun, so I'm never going to cock it, you see? So it just doesn't make any sense. It might as well be double action only, and there are very few revolvers out there that are set up from the factory in double action only. Very few. And of course here I could have ordered it, but yeah, Mr. Holster being a cheap guy, he bought this one, and I felt sorry for this. I felt sorry for this gun. It kind of reminded me of those poor toys on the island of misfit toys. Yeah, I felt sorry for him. He needed to come home and get a little TLC, and I gave it to him. Of course, Ruger has, on this particular model, these lovely grips that remind me of Don Johnson. Yeah, this guy back here, every time, he's a big fan of Jack's. I hear Jack talk about Don Johnson all the time. At some point, I just want to get a wax bag. But at any rate, yeah, and throw up in it. Just Don this, Don that. It's almost as bad as when he starts talking about Bruce Willis. Oh my. Oh my, my. I swear. And last week, we were down at the VFW, and he started talking about Don and Bruce, and you should really invite them out for the weekend. I said, yeah, Jack, I'm sure Don or Bruce would love to come to the ranch for the weekend. We'll put them on Duke and see who can last the longest. No, they aren't going to come here, Jack. Anyway, I'm getting astray from my topic of conversation here. Yeah, I call them that because these grips kind of look like they're stuck in the 80s, back of the days of Miami Vice. But you know, they really do work incredibly well. I'll have to admit, the lines across there, I really get a good grip on this, and yet with the way the rubber is and this hard plastic center, it really does seem to be all right and not have clothes hang up on it and things. All around, this gun has turned into being one of my favorite Rugers. Shoots very exceptionally well. Just a nice gun. And other than the fact that the corners were so sharp, and there was a little bit of an issue with the screw head being sticking out a bit, but I took that down, buffed that down too, and cleaned it up. Other than those issues, everything else Ruger did when they made this gun was absolutely flawlessly perfect. So I have no complaints, because it's all about how the gun operates. Yeah, that's what it's really about. I can handle little cosmetic things if one slips by. And it really cosmetically was fine. It just had a few little things that rubbed me the wrong way. Yeah, just needed a little polishing and a little softening of the edges, and we took care of that. So this is the gun we're going to be shooting this weekend down at the Hard Target Range. Thanks for tuning in, guys. If you like my channel, please subscribe. Till next time, from Mr. Holster and Jack, who I don't know where he went. He said he was going off to get another something or other to put in the cocoa. I don't know what he puts in there, but boy, it's so good. For Mr. Holster and Jack, go out and stay safe.